Welcome. Today I'm going to be showing you an application called LabGen. LabGen is a program written to collect data on a Raspberry Pi, such as this. But you're going to see here that we have not just the Raspberry Pi itself, but we have this Sense Hat, which has temperature and humidity and pressure sensors. So first thing we're going to do here is we're going to take a look at the home page. On the home page, we're given, on the far left, the options of applying machine learning to an existing text file or to collect data. On the far right, we have some information about these different things. So with the data collection, we will be given options to determine the total time for collections, the time between collections, the data types, pressure, temperature, and humidity, and then a final option of whether we want to start immediately or start at the top of the hour. This last one was added because sometimes it's nice to have data which starts at the 0th minute of the hour. For machine learning, we're going to have the options of plotting linear, quadratic, or cubic polynomial fits. So let's get started. Let's go to our data collection here. So here you can see that we have all of these different options. So originally we have our what overall duration of time would we like to collect for. We have a default of 3. This way if a user forgets to put any information, the program's not going to have any problems. Since this is a short demonstration, I'm going to go ahead and do 3 seconds here. Then we have our time intervals. So since if we're going to be doing some machine learning, we want to get a few of these. So if we do 1 second between collections for 3 seconds, we should get 3 data points. Go ahead and hit next. Here we are given the option of a name for our file here. So here we have a default of test. We can add anything we wish to this, but I'll go ahead and leave it as test. And we can choose any one or all 3 of these options. I'm going to go ahead and select temperature. And then finally we have the option of starting at the top of the hour. I'm going to go ahead and say no to this, which we have as default because you can't see it on the corner of my screen, but it says 14:23, which means we'd have to wait 37 minutes before we'd start collecting any data. So I'm going to go ahead and hit next. Now, here we have a nice visible feedback about what's going to be happening here. We have the data types are recollecting our temperature. The overall duration is 3 seconds. Time between collections is 1 second. And now it's asking us, would we like to begin collecting? I'm going to go ahead and hit yes. And as you can see down here at the terminal, it starts saying that on Monday, May 7th at 14:23, we have collected these 3 different temperatures. So here is an example of what our file looks like, our CSV file, our comma-separated file. So we have time, temperature, pressure, and humidity with different values. Now these are all static values that are all the same. So it asks us, would we like to do some machine learning? I'm going to go ahead and hit yes. And here we have a nice little graph that pops up. Now we only have 3 data values, so it's not the world's best of graphs, but between the time we started, we got 3 points, and it looks like either the degree 2 or the degree 3 polynomial would have been our best option. Alright, I'm going to close this out. I'm going to go ahead and hit no here. Now we're going to go back to the machine learning. So here on the machine learning, we're able to actually enter a file that we already have. Well, I've already had one which has some fairly nice data. It was a test3.csv, so I'm going to type a 3 right here. And then now I'll go ahead and hit process. And in case, once again, here's some consistency. Here is an example file, so that way if you don't know what your file should look like, it should be this. Or perhaps less options, maybe not pressure, humidity, but go ahead and hit process. And here we have a little bit more variation. So we see that the data is kind of wiggling around a bit here. So this time it looks like the degree 3 polynomial was actually the best fit. And that right there is the program.